She's on the board now.
Okay, it is Tuesday, April 22nd, 2025. Your Richland County Board of Commissioners are now in session. I'm Commissioner Vero, joined by Commissioners Banks and Mears. We have Greg Kale wearing an ugly Steelers shirt with WMFD here. Our Dayspring Executive Director, Michelle Swank. Carl Hunnell's upgrade to Hayden Gray. Our County Administrator, Andrew Keller. Our Senior Clerk, Stacy Kroll. And then we are joined by someone in Zoom land, and H. Thompson. Would you like to identify yourself for the minutes? Welcome and thank you for tuning in. Okay. Go by H. Thompson. Welcome. All right, getting into our regularly scheduled items, motion to certify the record of proceedings for April 17th, 2025.
Second.
Mr. Vero,
Yes.
Mr. Mears,
Yes.
Banks,
Yes.
Motion to approve requisitions.
Second.
Mr. Vero,
Yes.
Mr. Mears,
Yes.
Banks,
Yes.
Motion to approve an authorization to offer a candidate a clerical position at child support. This is just the authorization to offer. Should that candidate accept following some additional routine items in the hiring process, Janet will come back for formal approval.
So moved. Second.
Mr. Vero,
Yes.
Mr. Mears,
Yes.
Mr. Banks,
Yes.
Motion to accept the resignation of a Dayspring employee, Madison Carter, effective April 18th, 2025.
Second.
Mr. Vero,
Yes.
Mr. Mears,
Yes.
Mr. Banks.
Yes.
All right, Michelle, we're getting into the Michelle Swank portion of this morning's meeting.
Not to be confused with the Jimmy Sweat.
The first item up with Dayspring is a phone contract with Armstrong. Michelle, we had discussed this in the past. Why don't you update us on the contract?
Sure. A few months ago, I had asked commissioners because our current phone system is 10 years old and it is antiquated and I cannot find parts, I cannot find receivers. And I would rather correct it and fix it before I don't have a phone at Dayspring. Legal review went through everything and made sure that they were pleased with it. Now giving it back so that you can sign for it. The change will increase our cost of $100 a month. We are adding a number of lines to our system, going from the 9 analog lines, I believe, up to the 21. Still need to keep a few analog lines for the elevator, the fax machine, and our fire system. But we are getting more, and I think it's well worth the cost. And again, the system is going to die. I have to trick it right now so that it actually says the correct time. Doesn't believe we are in United States. So I need to do something. So
This doesn't impact the pagers in the areas we were talking about Saturday, does it?
no, what they are working on, they're actually installing it now. It's our call system, and that includes the walkie-talkies that you saw during our Easter egg hunt on Saturday. So that does not affect those at all,
I
no.
think so, that's what I asked.
All right, motion to approve.
Moved.
Second.
Mr. Vero,
Yes.
Mr. Mears.
Yes.
Mr. Banks.
Yes.
All right. And continuing on with Day Split, this is exciting. And we're seeing more private and governmental entities go to this, and this is potential vehicle tracking on 5 Dayspring vehicles. So Michelle has a request with that. If you could please update us on the request.
Actually, the request for me to look into this came from one of the employees that drives quite a bit. He asked me about it a year ago, actually, and I reached out to all of the departments that needed to. I reached out to Andrew, risk management, all of the things that would go into something like this. Then I got sidetracked, I guess you could say. My employee was concerned because he is in a county vehicle that as he's driving the residents back and forth to their appointments, he could be seen target in the sense of if somebody wanted to cause an accident, because it is a county vehicle, that there would be no way of proving that he did not do anything wrong. Which is a valid concern. I mean, that does happen. So I did finally get a chance to look into it. Verizon Connect would be the one that would provide this service. I would put them on all of the Dayspring vehicles, not just the ones that the residents primarily transported. And we have 3 transport vehicles that we take the residents to their medical appointments. We have our activity bus that we take them to outings, and then we have our truck that, for the most part, our maintenance man uses to go back and forth if he needs to go to Lowe's or pick things up. So it'd be on all of the vehicles. The camera, the salesman showed me a video. It actually shows everything that the driver would see. Or if somebody were to slam on their brakes in front of him, it would show that. Another portion of this would be able to track vehicle. So if somebody claimed that one of our Dayspring vehicles was somewhere where it shouldn't be, I could look and say, no, that was not our vehicle. The person did not do anything wrong. And that's how I believe that this will. I don't necessarily have issues right now, as far as I'm aware. I don't get calls claiming that cars are not where they're not supposed to be. There's an added benefit because we are driving our residents. And sometimes our residents might have a difference of opinion of how fast the other driver might be going. So this will also, again, be able to protect our employees, because as long as you're not doing anything wrong, everything is fine. And I don't believe our employees are doing anything wrong. This just is another layer of protection for the resident and for the employee. But I think would be worth the money that it would cost us each month.
We saw the engineer just start looking at this. He's starting with a couple vehicles. I think this makes sense. Does this cover the storage as well? That's the only question I had. Does the subscription fee cover the storage of the recordings?
Yes, the storage is not on the device. It's in the,
Cloud?
yes. And it would be secured for a number of months.
Includes installation.
Yes, they actually have a promotion going on through April. It's not a huge amount, but again, it'd be $4 per camera per month for the first year. It is a subscription, so we will have it for 1 year. I, of course, will do all of the due diligence that we should do. All of the employees and all of the residents will know that there is a camera in all of our vehicles. Everyone should know that. So they can, if they need to, adjust their behavior accordingly. No screaming. Well, there's no audio. I don't want any audio. But I also, some of our residents are a bit, they think they're comical. I would rather not have waving of the one finger variety to the camera. Because again, who doesn't find that funny? But I would rather not. Everybody will know. They will sign something saying that they are aware. And if they have a guardian, we will also inform the guardian as well.
Motion to approve.
So move.
Second.
Commissioner Vera?
Yes.
Commissioner Mears?
Yeah.
Yes.
Bill.
Camera face the driver and out the front of the vehicle so you can see where they're driving and what's going on inside the vehicle.
The camera does face outward and it does face. I originally didn't necessarily think I wanted it facing into the cab. But with sometimes the conflicting reports, I think it would be a better source of protection. That it is facing in, that way, if somebody did have a difference of opinion, we could see if what happened, what is reported as happened actually happened.
So, like distracted driving and those types of things.
Yes. My hope is that because people are aware that there's a camera there, that there won't be anything like that.
Hey, Hayden, any questions?
The only question I had was, I know you said it was the promotional price $4 per month per camera. Is there any other costs associated with this as far as installation?
No, the installation, I wanted to say it was like,
I should have told
Minute.
the cost of a couple $100 a month.
yeah, the will, yes, yes.
Doing it.
Installation was a minute portion of it.
220.
Yeah.
Spreadsheet here, contracts over there.
And also they will.
Hold on, let me, Carol, you have that? Hold on, I
Okay.
That was a huge,
keep the spreadsheet.
$250.75 for the 5 vehicles.
50, 75.
add on about, I think I figured out when I was doing my crunching about 3,000 to the,
$3,012.
And Verizon is your regular carrier for other,
yes, Verizon, we have them for our cell phones that are the few that we have for Dayspring. This is actually through Verizon Connect, which is, I don't know how they're all connected, but I talked with my salesman from Verizon. He got me to Verizon Connect where I had a different salesman show me the product and all of the things that it can do. I don't think we'll utilize all the things that it can do. I mean, it'll apparently tell you when you need a oil change. I mean, it'll tell you all of these things. Well, who knows, maybe we will use it. But it does seem to be a very interesting product.
All right, Michelle, we appreciate your proaction and thank you for visiting us today.
Why don't you tell us the success of your egg hunt?
Oh, our Easter egg hunt, it rained. It poured down about 11:15 to 11:30, 11:45, 15 minutes before the event was supposed to start. But that did not stop the brave. We had children coming up the hill even as it was raining so that they could participate. We did not stop. We went out there and we continued and we had games set up and we had all the eggs out there and we dropped the balls from the second floor and the first floor. There was face painting. Toddler Town was a huge success because the sun did come out. With 10 minutes before the event was to start, the sun came out, the clouds cleared up, and those 110 children that came had a great time. And that's the whole point. Whether I have 100 or I have 500, or only 2, they had a great time. All the prizes were found, all the eggs were taken off of the hill. And I am hopeful that next year the weather is a bit nicer.
Your residents enjoy this?
Oh, yeah. Well, actually, one of my second oldest, she's in her 90s. She was actually sitting in her little walker outside of Toddler Town, even after all the kids were gone, as we were cleaning everything up. And I went by and I said her name. And I said, "What are you doing?" And she goes, "I'm just enjoying the sun. And it was such a wonderful day to see all these happy kids." And so that's the point. I mean, yes, I love the happy children, but the residents enjoy it so much to see all the children screaming and hollering and having a grand old time. And Cliff did a wonderful job dropping the balls. I do not think he was the reason that one child was crying. That might have been me. Because as you're throwing the balls off, you're just doing as best as you can. And if the kids don't duck, sometimes,
Or any knockdowns.
now I know just a little bit of upset, but I do find it amazing how quickly they stop crying. As soon as you say, "Hey, do you want this ball?" It had Spider-Man all over it. Kid just, I mean, it was amazing. He stopped crying, his hands went up in the air, smiling like it was the best thing in the world, and the ball went down and it bounced right to him. It was pretty good. So thank you very much. We could not do it without the volunteers. We really couldn't. So
Thank you.
yeah, we'll have pictures on Facebook as soon as I get them from the photographer. So, yes.
All right, Michelle, thank you. Thank you for everything you do. The egg hunt is always fantastic. As long as Cliff didn't take out any children, that's also an added bonus. And now we will recess and come back in at 10 a.m. For a meeting with Palmer Energy.
We've got the,
Running.
Okay, it is 10 a.m. and your Richland County Board of Commissioners are back in session. We are joined with Amy Hoffman. She's with Palmer Energy, which is affiliated with CCAO and their energy program. In May of this year, we have our electric facilities contract up. For taxpayers, anyone who listens to recording, we need to make a distinction. We have electric in two fronts. There's the aggregation with our township, and then there's our facilities. And this would be for the facilities portion. Is that correct, Amy?
that is absolutely correct.
And our current contract, per my spreadsheet, is with Freepoint Energy.
Yes.
And let's talk next round.
All right. Thank you very much, Commissioner. So let me kind of give a little review. Through this contract, we have always gone out county by county. We take your facility load, we bid it out to multiple suppliers to get competitive rates back. And then we give our recommendation on which route you should go, always due to the best financial route, and then you sign the contract. About a year and a half ago, Palmer, on behalf of the CCAO Energy Program, started looking into doing it like we do the gas aggregation, where we pool everyone together. So this group has 67 different program participants, which is the vast majority are counties. I think there's a few cities in as well. And we bid the whole load out. We put it into 3 different groups, so 3 different contracts by similar load profiles. And group 1 has 3,838 meters in it, makes up 192.9 gigawatts, or 1,929,000 kilowatt hours. Group 2 is 169 accounts, making up 254 gigawatts, and group 3 only has 21 meters in it, 167.8 gigawatts. So very, very large group, and we bid those out to the suppliers, and the results came back. The Prosecutors Association of Ohio did the review of the top supplier contracts to make sure that they're in compliance with what they wanted. And in front of you, commissioners, are the results of the RFP and then the refresh. And so this is what we're going forward with. So in the case of Richland County, of your 89 meters that are in contract, 86 are in group 1. Group 1, Dynegy won as the supplier, and it's an all-inclusive rate of 0.08046. So not capacity pass-through, which is what you've had for the last 2 contracts, I believe. That is an all-in rate, and it's for 2 years. So it's a 24-month contract. It will start in May. It'll show up on your June bill. It's May meter.
Assuming we would approve, correct?
Well, it's been approved because the whole group did it as a whole. So it's been approved, it's been signed. And this is what the collective,
This would be for, hold on.
Yep.
Would it be possible to get these ahead of time in the future, Amy? Did I not see this in the packet? I didn't see it in my packet.
did I not send it to you on that Friday when you asked me? Oh, you know what? I don't think I even had it then, when we talked about CPV. Yep, I just actually sent them out last Friday, and so since I was coming, so I apologize, but
So if this would be for how many, how many meters?
86 meters.
For 86 meters, and this is all inclusive. Okay, and that's with Dynergy.
Mm-hmm.
And
And
we have, what else?
then there's your three largest meters. And I'll be getting that list. I don't even have it yet, but I can give you the addresses. But we're getting an official list from Allison soon. So 3 meters are going to be with CPV Energy. The rate is 0.05767 plus capacity. So it's capacity pass-through, meaning the capacity portion will be as it is for what it should be for each facility, each meter, which is what you've been doing.
2 or group 3 for those 3 meters.
Group 2. You have none in group 3. Capacity adds about 1.5 to 2 cents to the price on average.
Is that per kilowatt hour?
Our current contract is with who?
3 point.
Okay, that's what I thought you said. And they weren't part of this. I recommend.
Well, there was many suppliers. I think we had like 18 to 20 suppliers that bid this out. The top 5 is who we had the Prosecutors Association review. They were not in the top 5. Correct. So the top 5 were AEP Energy, CPV Energy, Dynegy, NG, and IGS. Those were the top offers.
What are we currently paying?
You're currently
05081 plus capacity cost.
What's that? I didn't hear.
0.05081 plus capacity.
Okay,
And capacity currently is probably more like 1.25 to 1.5. It's lower. Capacity is for the most part what is driving up the cost. Because I have passed this, you have received this in the past, and I think we've actually had, we've had conversations. This went out a couple of times since the fall, and then I think it came back out to you, but this is what capacity is. This is just the basic. What's happening with the capacity world. And if you go to the last page, it's the graph. And that's where it shows you it's going from 3,950 a megawatt day to 270. And that's for the year. And that is, it's unavoidable. That's the increase. Share of all the utilities in June is going to be in that 10 to 11 cent rate again because of capacity, and capacity is supply and demand.
What's the update with the solar field program?
No update.
So when can we
Still-
expect to have that as a potential alternative?
We do not know. It is still in the line to be the interconnection. So we've heard nothing at this point. As soon as we know anything, we will send it out through the CCAO.
The change in administration and potentially all plants that were shut down, going back online. Is there any anticipation, any forethought about where that could?
I would think that would assist in us moving forward with it. Because the demand is there, the supply is not. So that's the predicament we're in right now. So the demand is increased because of the data centers, EV, weather conditions, and the demand the supply has to catch up. The hope is that in the next 18 months to 2 years, it's there. Now, these data centers that are going in out there, that some of them are going to have their own micro generation systems, generators that they will do their own, but that doesn't happen. Nothing happens overnight in the energy market.
What fuel? Which would,
Yes, I would assume. Yes,
AI is driving up capacity costs, Andrew.
Utilizing this prior to June first, Amy, are we getting just by deadline, or is that built in?
it's built in. Yeah, it's built in. And back in the fall, we did send updated budgets because we knew the 270, what the capacity was at back in the fall. So we did send updated budgets for all of the counties, knowing, not obviously knowing exactly what the rate was because we hadn't gone out for pricing, but knowing what the capacity increase was going to be, knowing energy rate slightly higher, but it was the capacity that was going to be driving this bump up. So we did send those out. Right now, we've been doing a lot of aggregation contracts. We don't have to do Richlands yet because it's not up till December, but we had some in June and the aggregation rates are coming back in the 8s, low 9s right now. Because of solely on the June 1st.
The tenfold increase in the capacity costs,
Mhm.
a lot of that's attributable to renewable generation sources, right?
Correct.
Because of the storage needs and the intermittent generation, because whether it be wind or
Right.
the sun shining, these are things. that come and
Exactly.
go.
Now, I think the administration will, we're all in this holding pattern for these larger solar, wind, and so as those come on, which will happen sooner than gas generation plants being built and so forth. So our thought is when we're going out for contracts, not to go out more than a couple of years because we feel there will be a shift again. But that is exactly right. But the data centers, they need it 24/7. So solar and wind coming on is absolutely needed, but we need that base as well.
It sounds like what you're saying is you have some guarded optimism that there will be a little less regulated environment and this is.
At this time, yes.
Leader to.
Right, yeah. Yeah, so like the aggregation programs, the community aggregation, electric aggregation, we're doing 12 to 18-month contracts. We don't want to go out too far because it is, when you're coming back with high 8s and low 9s and all of our aggregations are in the mid 6s, that's a steep, that's nothing that I like telling anyone about, but it is what it is. But we know for a fact for the next year that 270 is what capacity auction rates are. We know FERC did come out and for a year, June 26 to June 27, they're putting a ceiling on that, but the ceiling is 325. So that's telling us that year 2 could still be up there if they're feeling that they have to put a ceiling at 325 and it's currently at 27 or will be at 270 in June.
So my understanding is that there's a power plant over on the Ohio River that is one of the cleanest in the world. And yet a deal was made with the Sierra Club to close that down. Do you think there's hope that we can revitalize that and get it operational? You think the president will see that that happens?
It's a very strong possibility. If things are being shut down, they can go back up, but it's a process. It just
So even if wind and solar get fully online from what's under
That
construction,
will be helpful.
it'd be helpful, but isn't wind and solar single digit percentages? I mean, don't they supply a very small portion of the power in the whole picture?
It's growing, but it's still,
Uh,
mm.
I saw it.
But it has always been single. I bet Josh has
But even if it doubled,
you still need the gas. You still need,
Okay. Well, I guess we don't need to take any formal action, huh?
good information.
Thank you for coming as always, Amy.
yes. And do you want to talk electric ag for just a second?
Sure.
So currently you are up in December of 2025, which majority of the aggregations are, and you're at 0.0665. So I guess the good news is that the communities that are in the program are going to see, if they're noticing, that their rate is gonna look significantly better, unfortunately, but fortunately than the utility. Because in the utility, the current rate might be in the low eights, but it's going to go in June up to 10 and 11 cents. So this summer, when everyone's using their electricity, they're gonna be fine because of the aggregation. And this is where aggregations, really are significant when these changes happen and they're at a fixed rate. So the communities are good for the summer. At one, Commissioner Vero, I did speak with Weller,
Yep.
but they had to stay with their current consultant because of contract terms. When they reached out in February, and I talked to them right away, but they had a contract with the actual consultant, not just the aggregation, which is up in
And
June.
I'm showing that's Franklin, Mifflin, and Sandusky that are still aggregated. Is that correct?
Correct. Oh, with us, yes, Franklin, Sandusky,
Mifflin.
yes, Mifflin. And at one time, not one time, back in the fall, Blooming Grove, I also had a conversation with, but the terms did not work out. So I'm keeping in touch with those two. I believe they just re-upped for 1-year contracts, and it looked like their rate is 0.0918 starting in June.
That's a significant increase.
Yes. But the ones we're doing right now for that is in that same range. And those are.
You're not selling for yourself right here if you're
Well, I'm being honest.
same as the others.
But we have ours through December. So timing wise, we got through,
And where are we with gas, our gas facilities?
are you guys,
We're with IGS.
you're still with IGS.
And what's that good through?
That is good for 2 years.
That's-
I'm gonna say,
5 to March 27? Hold on.
oh, but I don't have that rate with me. Are you, help me here, are you, Columbia Gas?
Yes.
Or you are, okay. So let's talk about that a little bit. And I'm going off the top of my head here, no notes. But this has been brought up in CCAO conversations. PICO is the pipeline that in Ohio, but it's in other states as well, but in Ohio, it is used by Columbia Gas. It is used by CenterPoint. It is used by Dominion or Enbridge West, not,
Send us one of these for gas. I don't recall seeing one similar to show how the gas turned out. I don't recall.
I wouldn't have sent it, but Andrea would have sent it. So I'll talk to Andrea. Usually Andrea sends any communications.
Seeing one. I'm not saying I did or didn't.
No, I would not have sent it, but Andrea may have, just because it's been the collective group, because again, just for reminder, the gas is by utility, So all of the counties in the CCAO program that have Columbia Gas, so same us in Toledo area and so forth, we have all of the choice meters in the same pool group. And we have the power of attorney, so we just go in and we are always, the RFP we do is for that basis adder number. So it's NYMEX plus basis equals the price that shows up on your bill. So IGS is the supplier again. Let me kind of get back to TECO. So TECO went to FERC and said, we need this large increase because of demand. We want to keep the pipeline growing and healthy and so forth. And so we need this large increase. And we're going to start it in April, which they did. But FERC will not probably get around to discussing it, making a decision until sometime later in 2025. This is what happened in 2021. And more than likely, they will not agree to the full percentage, but they'll say, okay, we'll agree to this percentage increase. I'll send you all this I'm pretty sure Andrea sent it, but I'll send it again. And when they do, then it changes and that's what they do. So when we went out for our bid for the new IGS contract that started in April, Josh put in there that whatever decision the FERC makes on TECO and what they want, then they will refund the difference. And if you were directly with the utility is not going to refund. So IGS, any of the suppliers that we bid to, we put that in there. So once a decision's made, a refund will come back of the difference. Because right now, TECO is taking out their 100% increase, whatever, it's not 100%, but whatever increase. And this is exactly what happened in 2021 as well. So gas has now, gas is higher than it was last year. And that's always in the Palmer report every Friday. And I think we've been talking about TECO in that as well, keeping everyone up to date with the storage report and what it's, this month is and so forth. But so that's what's happening there. But I will be back at the office this afternoon so I can send that over. I'm going to send, do you want this electronically?
I have it. I'm gonna go scan it.
Okay.
Not to.
I can,
That's fine too.
okay, I'll send both.
It helps me prepare. I didn't see any documents, so I wasn't sure.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, always complex and sobering, fun when talking energy. So we will recess and come back at 10:30. Thanks, Amy.
Thank you.
Is Janelle having to drive, Andrew? Oh. Okay, it is 10:30 in the morning and we are back in session. At this time, I will ask for a motion to go in executive session to discuss employment, of public employee.
So moved.
Second,
Commissioner Vero,
Yes.
Mears,
Yes.
Commissioner Banks.
yes.
Okay, we are back in session at 11:14. We have no action to take at this time. Seeing no further business, we will adjourn at 11:14.
Give my condolences